you look around the league, there's a lot of teams, in the hunt. We're in the hunt. You sit here and you say, hey, Thanksgiving, and close to the end of November, and we're in the hunt. When you sit around that table tomorrow, you're saying we're in the hunt. And there's a lot of teams that wish they were in the hunt. But we're in the hunt.
Hey, everyone. It's Shaun doing the intro. Don't worry, Greg hasn't quit. He's right here. Kyle's here too. I'm doing the intro because I want to say we are back in the hunt, baby. It's here. The namesake of our pod is back. It's exciting. I also wanted to start because I have a couple things to get off my chest here to start the pod. Greg and Kyle, if that's okay.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah, you don't want to talk at all. I know. I understand.
No, I've got some things to say.
Okay, that's exciting. For those of you who don't follow us on Twitter, this has never happened before, but we normally record right after the game, unless it's a night game, and we all texted each other and said no pod. We were all in such bad moods that we agreed to wait a day to record the pod, so that's why it's late. I also want to do the intro because I have two things to start off with. One is I want to just list all the sad stats that I read over the past 24 hours. Get them all out of the way up front. So here's a bunch of sad stats we have. Since the Packers' second half, Allen has had 6 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and 1 touchdown. They haven't scored a second half touchdown since the Chiefs game. Prior to the Allen fumble, the Bills had a 99.1% chance of winning. We've had at least one turnover.
That one needed a second.
Yeah, that one needed a second to really think, really dwell on it. We've had at least one turnover in every game this season, at least 2 in 5 of the 9 games, and this is our second 4-turnover game. So there's all the stats I wanted to get out of the way. And this is my last bit of the intro before I kind of open it up to you guys. Have either of you ever seen the TV show Justified?
Oh yeah, I like that show very much.
Great show, Kyle. I recommend it. There's a quote from it I think of often. I looked it up, and the quote is, you run into an asshole in the morning, you ran into an asshole. You run into assholes all day, you're the asshole. And my point being, if you're in a football game where you choke once, you choked once, it's no big deal. If you're always in a football game when you choke, aren't you just a choker? It's been in the past 2 years. In the past 2 years, we've had 13 seconds, the Titans 1-yard slip, the Hail Murray, an Urban Meyer loss, the Tornado 3-pass attempt loss. And that doesn't even include the bounce off Watson Texans playoff loss. At what point is this who we are? Are we doomed like Greg's rant from the Chiefs playoff loss? Is it stupid to watch this team? That's the thoughts that were going through my head at the end of this game.
I have a response to those. I can answer no, short answer, but I have more to say on it. Everyone likes Kyle more than me, so I want to give Kyle a chance to talk.
What?
You're a fan favorite.
I mean,
Kyle,
not by Twitter follower numbers.
Well, that's declining, and the medium's going away. So we're leveling the playing field right now. So,
Greg, are you verified on Twitter?
No, I don't have $8.
No.
I was never verified. It was always like I tried through the radio station back. You had like fill out a form because I was like, hey, I work in media, and I never heard back from anyone. And then I just didn't care because like if you want to impersonate me and do a fake trade thing, that's fine. Like it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm not verified.
I don't. That's tough because you want to say I don't think the Bills are cursed. But boy, do they resemble a cursed franchise, It can't be doomed. They can't be doomed or cursed, whatever word you said. I think it's just the universe.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean at all.
The universe,
magnets, like how do magnets work?
Work?
There's axis.
How do the Bills lose all the time?
Axi and polar opposites and stuff like that. And
I love it.
In a different timeline, we're 9-0, and the Bills have won multiple Super Bowls, and it's just in this timeline, it's different. I've been doing a lot of psilocybin.
Yeah, I've been a lot of a lot of multiverse reading on Kyle's
eventually the paths will cross, and then that universe's Bills will be cursed, and this Bills won't. So I think we're just waiting for the path of cross.
I'll get into my normal optimism eventually, but this game turned me into a little bit of a Greg, more so than maybe even 13 seconds, just because now there's so much pressure to be the best team in the league.
And it's 3 in a row. If this was spaced out, it's different, because like you said, if it was we beat the Rams week 1, then let's say the Packers game where the Bills win, but the second half kind of sucks. And then what's it called? Then the Titans game, we blow them out. It's nothing. Then Miami, and it's kind of like, what's going on with this team? But the fact that it was these last 3 games,
2.5,
basically. 2.5 have been in a row. We're like, well, now it's not just like a blip. This is a thing, because it's 3 bad or 2.5 bad. I guess you could actually say 2, because the first half was pretty good. The Bills were up 24-10, I believe, at halftime. But like,
it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's
just
pretty good.
48-point pace game.
It's pretty good.
For that first half. Okay.
I mean, we can't go by pace here. They lost.
but
that was the first half. It was good.
The ability to lose in unique ways is almost. I mean, I'm like speechless when they can't do a hand up, not like a snap. Like it's insane. And that Jefferson catch is like, it seemed like even if he put Stickum all over his hands, he couldn't guarantee a catch like that. It's like it's unreal.
So this was my turn. This was a regular season game, so you can't call it the worst loss in Bills history.
I agree.
I'm not listening to that. I'm not saying you were saying that. I'm just painting a picture here.
Yeah.
Let's paint a picture. It's not the worst loss in Bills history. It is. Thank you, Kyle, for the illustration of painting. It's the worst kind of loss. Like, that was unreal. That was not Music City Miracle. That was kind of like, okay, this is an interesting game. It's kind of close. Holy shit. So that was that. It's not 13 seconds, because Kansas City is really good, and you were kind of like, this was so many things that had to happen for that loss to happen. It was insane. So this was the weirdest loss ever, and super painful.
And
following the game,
I will say quickly, just to follow up on that, we did a Patreon, sign up for the Patreon, where we did a 2-part episode where each of us drafted 4 Bills losses, 4 worst Bills losses. So there were 12 picks total. And I don't think this game would have been picked. I don't think it's top 12, but it's like high second tier, I think. It would have been in a follow-up, like,
if you consider everything about the week, I would, and I'm going to get into that. But it was a really bad week. So it was a crazy loss. I was mad. I didn't want to record yesterday, but I wasn't like I was last week against the Jets, and that was before knowing Allen's injury. If I knew Allen was injured, like we all thought he might have been injured after the Jets game, that we wouldn't be doing a podcast ever again. So I was not as upset yesterday. I would have done the podcast, and it would have been like, oh, this sucks. Today, after, like, I went on Twitter for like 45 seconds last night after the game, just looking at stuff, and I blocked or muted. I don't block, I muted, and I will take some of these people off of mute, not all of them. If I ever hear the words Allen and MVP in the same sentence again, I'm revolting. Why didn't they go for the touchdown instead of tying the game with 5 seconds left in the, it was like 4 tweets like this team sucks, things like that. The coach fired Jaron. I saw that. I went so fucking apeshit over how stupid. Not Jaron.
Wow, dude.
We were talking about that draft thing. I had Jaron in my head. I saw so many stupid tweets that I actually came around, and I'm now fine. Like, they're fine. They're 6-3. Allen's not gone for the year. That's the cloud that was hanging around all week. I thought he was never going to play football again. It was Tommy John surgery, and it would have been 1.5 years until he comes back, and he would be too old. Or just something stupid. Like, that's how my dumb football mind was working. He played fine. He's healthy. He fucked up. he's still really, really good at football. If you were at the game or watching the game, you prayed to God, even if you don't believe in him 3 times, just give me this one stop at the goal line. Just give me that they only get the field goal. Like your prayer was answered like 3 different times, and then they lost the game, which was what it seemed impossible 3 different times that they would even get to the point that they got to with that interception. You're fucking spoiled. Like you're a spoiled Bills fan if you came away saying anything like Allen sucks, he shouldn't have played, fire McDermott, anything like that. If you don't think that they're still the best team in the AFC East, you're so damn spoiled that you're probably going to hurt yourself by watching football now, because you're just never going to be happy. Even when they win the Super Bowl, you're never going to be happy. And that's where I'm at. They're still really, really good. The league is hard. They played a team that they're better than that team. That team needed like 4 miracles in order to beat them. And they had to hold Ed Oliver the entire fucking game just to beat the Bills. That they're better than the Vikings. I hope they play them again in the Super Bowl. They'll win by 30 points. I have more to say, but that's it. I'll let you guys talk.
Wow, this is a really Freaky Friday situation here. We got optimist Greg. I'm a little negative.
Well, it's their fault. It's that universe that's going away's fault. It's Twitter. It's that instant reaction. It's the post-game mentality that I hate. Right. I think I hate that more than losing. I hate losing because the noise that comes after losing is just insane people. And I don't care what you fucking say. Well, so that's tough.
To make Kyle happy here, let me go over some more negatives.
Kyle's got the all 22 breakdown.
Yeah,
so
before we get too positive, we got to go through some negatives here, because I mostly agree with everything you just said, Greg. Mostly.
It didn't sound like it the first 17 minutes of the show when you were like, I want to open it because I'm mad. No pod. No pod.
You said no pod every time we lose. You can't do it. But that's
I'm Shaun Murphy. I got the receipts. I'm Shaun Murphy, and I say no pod. It's done forever. Those are your exact fucking words.
No, that's you.
Cannot back down. No, that's you. Didn't you hear my voice? Well, hold on. We're confusing people because they can't see us. This is Greg talking right now, and now I'm gonna shut up and Shaun's gonna talk. No pod ever. That was Shaun Murphy. Okay,
here comes Kyle.
Don't drag me into this. I'm just sitting here.
I can't believe you put that on me when you never want to do a pod when we lose. Here's the thing I'm saying.
I'm a bitch.
I think the Bills as a team are fine. I'm almost just worried of it because it seems like they're cursed. That part worries me. But the non kind of silly curse part that I think don't believe in curses. Here's what worries me: is this team plays terrible close game situational football, and with the injury problem, Allen regressing even just by 10%, I think they overcome all that. I think they get it all back on track. Here's my problem though: does it become too late? If you finally figure it out and you're a 4th seed or you're a 6th seed, you're a 3rd seed, can you win 4 close games on the road? 4 close games in a row against good teams, most of them being on the road? That I just don't know. I don't know that I have faith in them to do that. That's what scares me about this slump here.
Can I real quick I'll just count it with a positive real quick. If the season ended right now, they'd be the 6th seed. They'd be playing in Tennessee with a home game against the Titans. Jeremy White joked about it being a home game because it'll just fill up with Bills fans. And the Dolphins play the Patriots. There's no way the Dolphins beat the Patriots in the playoffs. That means the Chiefs will play the Patriots and the Bills will play like Baltimore or whoever wins that other one. So just let you know the path to Kansas City is still there. But yeah, that's the hard part about this game is that 1 seed. You're now only a half game up on the Chiefs for it.
Kyle, you've been quiet. What are you still looking at the all 22? What are you okay?
What's your boner, Kyle?
I was waiting. No boner. I left. I went to the game.
You left? You didn't watch the whole game?
I left with about 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Oh my Lord.
Bills were up 10 points.
Okay.
I had a long Saturday night that I can't get into, but it was a long Saturday night. And so I was running off of like 3 hours of sleep, and I felt okay, but I was like, it was the same thing I said last time where I was just sitting, or last game where I just go, fuck this, man. They don't deserve to win. In my head, I go, you don't deserve to feel good after being bad and letting this team back in it. And I got home just as the Vikings scored and the Bills were getting the ball back, and I watched the Bills go down the field and kick the field goal to go into overtime. And at that moment, if you were to ask me, do you regret leaving? Because obviously the Bills did not lead or win yet or lose yet, but they tied it to getting over it. Do you regret leaving? Absolutely not. Because fuck them. They made me leave. You play like shit. I'm leaving. I'm sick of giving you my time. I've devoted more time to this franchise than the players on the fucking team. So you want me to stay in the fucking stadium, play better. I don't care.
Well, I want to know where
I
you
respect that.
I want to know where you stand. You know, me and Greg have kind of given our takes. Where do you stand?
Section 123. I don't know.
You
what
think I'm in the
section
100? You think I make $100 money?
Hey, I know that GI Bill. You're friggin'.
They don't give us money.
Yeah,
they
that was
don't even
what-
give
Yeah,
us
they
dental.
do.
That was a salute to the
They
troops.
build planes for billions of dollars. I know they give you bill
That's
tickets
right.
money.
They lost on Salute the Troops Day.
I know.
After
Oh.
Veterans Day, they lost. How much do you really like the troops, Shaun McDermott?
Yeah.
You fucked up on Veterans Day weekend.
Wow.
You bitch.
Now I know why Kyle was so mad. He's like, I'm supposed to be saluted right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
They almost let me ride the Sky Cam. I was gonna brag about it to Greg.
I was watching Skycam all game. Like that thing gets right below people at the huddle. It's a
Obsessed with the
menace.
Sky Cam. I'm with Greg where it's a tough pill to swallow, but they are 6-3, and last year they were fucking 7-6, and they could have won the Super Bowl at the end of the year.
Were they
got
really
to-
7-6?
They were 7-6 last year. It's at that point in the season. So I'm not 6-3 is still good. I don't care. Everyone is obsessed with the 1 seed in this town. And I get it. But the amount of 1 seeds that won the Super Bowl is low. And I don't care if you win, just get in the playoffs and then win. I don't like people think this is like a cheat code. Like I said, plenty of 1 seeds have lost at home. I don't care if they get the 1 seed. I care if they win the fucking Super Bowl. Is the path slightly easier? Yes, but it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. So I don't care about that 1 seed as much as everyone does in this city. Like that's the end all be all. I don't give a shit. I'd rather have them go beat KC in KC in the AFC Championship game. I think it would be better. Now, again, do I want it? Yes, because I would get to go to some of these games. And yes, it would be easier. But I've just watched them lose at home. It's not a guarantee to fucking win here.
No,
so I don't.
It might even be worse for them to play in Buffalo.
Statistically,
conditions. I mean,
statistically,
like their offense
if you look at Allen's stats at home versus away, he's worse at home.
The 1 seed is important because you miss
you
that
get a
first
bye
week, you don't lose, and you don't play Kansas City
Like I
until
said,
the championship.
though, how many 1 seeds that had that first round bye have won? The number,
the
it's not
Titans
like
suck. The Titans suck, and they got it last year.
I'm talking when you go the past 20 years.
I can't go back that far. I don't think about the past.
This is something I wanted to bring up a little. A person that isn't catching blame and is maybe the second safest person in the organization. The punter, no, is Brandon Beane.
Okay.
All right, I think Josh Allen's the
spicy.
safest. Yeah, Josh Allen's is. People love this guy, and don't get me wrong. In no way is this I want Brandon Beane fired rant.
Sounds like it so far.
But the guy, everyone, I think some of his misses are overshadowed because Josh Allen's here.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this for years. I feel like I'm on always the forefront of complaining, and then the rest of the fan base catches up. I was the first person to complain about Yak. I was the first person to complain about no screens.
Yak.
I was the first person to always complain about special teams. You could go back to 2017, bitch. You know what I mean? Like I've always been the first. And for the past 3 years, I've complained about this with Brandon Beane. And I think it's kind of coming to a head now because I complained about it in the offseason going into this one. This guy has patchworked the offensive line since he got here. in the past, he's been here for 5 drafts. They've drafted 2 offensive linemen in the first 2 rounds, one being Cody Ford at Boston, and the other one being a Spencer Brown, who is at this point, an adequate
I'm sorry.
tackle.
Does Luke Tenuta mean nothing to you?
In the first 2 rounds? Who the hell is that? This guy, the offensive line, in my opinion here, and who am I? Just a guy that's guessed everything correct the past 5 years. You're right. This guy, the most important piece in your offense is the quarterback. Mm-hmm. These guys protect the most important piece. You're trying to, you know what I mean? Like, you're building a fortress. You're putting fucking plywood as your walls. Wouldn't you want brick or concrete? Like, this guy, since he got here, so he inherited Deion Dawkins, right? Because that was the Whaley draft. Mm-hmm. Then he goes out and he signs Quentin Spain, Ty Nsekhe. These are not all that year, but like throughout the years, like I said, Quentin Spain, yes, Mitch Morris, good. But the rest of these guys are these low budget. Ryan Bates is in there. You know what I mean? Roger Saffold this year. Daryl Williams at right tackle. He's signing these like very low budget guys that kind of filled in, was a backup on another team but showed potential, or these like veterans that'll sign somewhere for low. And I'm like, this is the wrong 5 guys to do that with. They're protecting your most important thing. The reason you're on primetime, the reason people give a shit about the Bills is Josh Allen, and you're putting backup guards in front of this guy and like a 3rd round right tackle. And it's just like one of those things where it's just like, you got to invest money in the offensive line. It's insane to me that he's neglected it, or at least tried to patchwork it and make it work. You might do that for a year or 2, but 5 years into your reign, this is your starting 5. You have a 39 or whatever, the fucking Roger Saffold, who was the worst graded offensive lineman last year, and a backup in Ryan Bates, who played 5 good games once in his career. That's the line. You're like, we're good. But it's fucking insane.
I generally agree, but did you think the line was?
I think the line is a lot of the issue with the running game, and I think that's what's derailing the offense. That there is zero threat. What they couldn't run the ball on 6 and 7 man fronts when they're facing them. Like, they're facing like the least amount of 8-man boxes in the NFL, and they still can't run outside of Josh Allen.
Let me give you a spin-off problem here. That's kind of close to what you're saying. Here's the thing that worries me a lot about the offense is this offense is 100% healthy. Like, imagine you get to the playoffs, and I'm not even saying a big name. I'm saying, say you get to the playoffs, you're in game 1, maybe game 2, and you're without, say, Dawson Knox and Spencer Brown. How much does that hurt? Like, they're playing, terrible second half games, but they're at 100% capacity. And that's the thing. I mean, Allen and Dorsey and, the running game, which we could all kind of get into in small bits in a little bit here, like, they got to figure it out, because if they get a little adversity and injury on the offense, like, that is scary.
Can I say no? Like, it's been a while. Like, I waited. No. Like, I'm saying no to all of that. No. They scored fucking 30 points. He threw 2 really bad red zone interceptions that would have been 14 more points. This fucking awesome offense is really good. Yes, they have some problems running the ball. There's even some protection problems that led to that elbow injury that he has. That was like a really bad give up on that sack by Quisenberry, whatever the hell his name is. But the fucking offense is amazing because of Josh Allen. So sure, maybe the offensive line isn't that great, but you have to pick and choose. Like if you want Von Miller, you want Stephon Diggs, you want Trey White, you want Josh Allen, you're gonna have to give something up, and they want to have a value at offensive line.
That's what
so
I've
they
been
have a
saying.
patchwork value offensive line because you can't spend $40 billion and get
but you
5
can
all-star,
draft
all-pro
you
offensive
can
line.
draft
No, you
those
can't,
players
because you have to draft that defensive line, which has been awesome, which is Ed Oliver and Greg Rousseau and Epineza and Boogie Basham, and maybe they all didn't pan out as good as they were, but you needed that, so you went and got that because you want to beat the Chiefs. Because
you
that
said
was
the salary
trend.
cap isn't real, Greg.
It isn't real, but you also only have so many things you can do, like in the draft. Like there's only so many players you can draft, and they draft the defensive linemen. The offense is so fucking good.
The offense is good, but it's clearly struggling. They
scored 30 points. He just threw 2 red zone interceptions. That game would have been done. They would have won. And we might be talking about this a little bit, but it would have been over.
You're talking like someone that, like an ESPN anchor that just looked at the box score and is reading a cue card. They're like, well, clearly nothing's wrong with the offense. They scored 30 points. You watched that game yesterday. You're telling me that whole offense is good, and the Jets game, and the second half of the Packers game, and the Miami game? That offense is
because
great?
They've made results all season long, scoring lots of points. They've very rarely not scored any points. They had
Shaun
bad
just
games.
told me he didn't
they
score
had bad
a touchdown
halves.
in the second half since week 5.
Because they're in a slump and they're not doing good. They still scored 30 points yesterday against a team that only has 1 loss.
The slump has been as long as the first good part.
You know what? If they miss the playoffs and Allen gets sacked 14 times a game, or they just can't run it or whatever, if they miss the playoffs, we'll talk about the offensive line. That offense is still really fucking good. It's one of the
I'm
best
not
in the
saying
league.
they're not good. I'm saying
yes, you are. You want Dean to be fired.
I'm all I was saying was I think that's where, in my opinion, that's where the issue would rise. Where I think offense, yes, sure. Bean drafts all these guys to chase Patrick Mahomes, but I don't. And it worked in week 5. Sure. They also beat them last year in week whatever. But like,
it's one of the best teams in football. You beat them,
I hear you.
2 out of the last 3 times.
I think the consistency on offense is lacking right now. Again, it might be a slump. I agree with you. 6-3 is good. I'll sign. If you told me the Bills would be 6-3 in week 9 and not tell me who they lost to or how they lost, I'd be like, that's good.
Yeah. And I think to rein us in a little bit, I think the offense is good. I think this team's good. Is just a little signs of worry that I hope they take these losses to heart and then improve on those. I think Allen's jitters, I think, gets worked out. I think he's trying to do the home run ball a little too much. Like he could dump it out and use those kind of McKenzie, Singletary, Knox people that haven't gotten a lot of play, whether because of their own quality of play or because he's just not trusting them, whatever it is. But like as Kyle said, some of the creativity, it seems like we run a lot less in the second half, even with like big leads. It seems like a lot of the runs aren't super creative. I don't understand why you trade for Hines and not really use them. I mean,
the running backs had 2 catches yesterday in a game where Allen threw the ball 43 times. The running backs had 2 catches for 9 yards total.
Yeah,
you just traded for Nyheim Hines 2 weeks before.
And it's just, how long are they going to be terrible in short yardage
Dean should
situation?
be fired.
There it is.
Back what I said. Fuck him. Fire him.
It needs to be pointed out because it hasn't been, and we're like 28 minutes into the podcast. Like the defense came up big when they needed to, but they gave up a lot yesterday. Obviously, that drive to get down to the goal line was tough, but I mean, we are missing 2 of our best players,
yes,
in Poyer and Hyde, and it's clear that even though these guys are stepping up, like that, Cam Lewis, as good as he played that game, that interception, I think Poyer knocks that ball away or comes down with it, or maybe Justin Jefferson was just fucking unreal. Like you cannot make better plays than he made on all of his big plays yesterday. And Trey White not being there. That's like my 2 concerns 100%. With the Bills are not the line. It's not special teams. It's not the coaching, the GM, nothing. I'm worried about 2 things, and that's Allen's elbow and will Trey White ever play again? And I'm devastated thinking that he won't. So you bring Trey White back here and you bring Poyer back. This team is fucking night and day.
That's why I feel like a lot of people aren't criticizing the defense, because it's like, I mean, it was all backups in the secondary. I had 6 snaps the other day.
By the way, good job.
Thank you.
I saw that sky cam fell and you dodged it. That'd be 1,000 pounds falling on you. So yeah.
That the Trey White thing is baffling to me. Now I realize everyone's going to heal and rehab differently, but I feel like
probably not trying to rehab.
The guys
doing too much singing in the locker room.
Yeah, nice dance. Why don't you try healing?
They need to take out the ping pong tables.
Yeah, because Trey White can't heal.
I could be wrong on this, but I believe he was practicing. I want to say the week of the Chiefs game that opened up. That was the first time of his 21-day window or something like that.
I don't know about that.
I could be wrong on that, but I mean, the guy's been literally practicing with the team for the past 3 weeks, and it's just tough because I know, and I don't expect them to offer any fucking info on it, but I mean, Chris Godwin tore his ACL a month after Trey White did. He tore his ACL, the receiver on the Bucs, and the guy played in the fucking opener.
Can I tell you what might be a factor in that? For the same reason that we're not seeing James Cook get the ball, the same reason we're not seeing Khalil Shakir get the ball, the same reason we're not seeing Hines get passes, Sean McDermott does not rush into anything. And that is a serious investment in one of the best players on their team. It could be, and I hope this is the case, they're just being extra cautious and they're taking that approach with him.
I mean,
or he's dying.
He's like the mom in A Christmas Story, just wrapping Trey White in 97 coats where he can't even move when he goes out there. Like, the guy's been practicing 3 weeks. Eventually you got to put him out there. Like, what's the difference? If he's not going to tear his ACL because that one was torn. If it happens, it's going to happen again on a freak accident. That's not how ACLs work.
I forgot. Dr. Kyle's got his ACL degree.
Dr. Kyle.
I do have a master's degree in this.
Okay, a couple quick things. First of all, I think we're basically all in agreement. I think that the me and Kyle point
Bean
is
should be fired.
Bean should be fired. The Bills suck, and we should just
the Bills. We're 2-9 in our last 9 games decided by 1 possession, and that scares me a little bit. That we brought this up in our fear episode. When it comes down to it, do I sometimes worry if that coaching staff can make the right decisions? Does Allen do a little too much hero ball? Is the run game completely there? It's worrying. I still think this is a good team. There's some things that worry me, Greg.
I'm not worried at all. When they got that ball and he fumbled the ball and it was a touchdown and they got the ball back and it was 36 seconds left, I knew they were going to kick a field goal, and they kicked the field goal. They're just so fucking good that they can do that. And I feel actually better during this podcast because I completely forgot they were 7-6 last year. I would have never remembered that.
That's a good segue.
They're 6-3. Yes.
That's a good segue to my optimist perspective, which is a good spot to end here before the question game. We have our three losses are by a combined 8 points. They have the best point differential currently in the league, the best strength of victory, the second best strength of schedule. Last year at this time, we were also 6-3, and we were about to lose 3 of our next 4. The Chiefs at this time were 5-4, and this team will be getting back, hopefully, Trey White, Poyer, Rousseau, Elam, and maybe, fingers crossed, OBJ. So there is a lot to like, Greg.
Yeah,
I agree.
And they still won't run a damn screen.
That's Bean's fault. Old Screeny Bean there.
Bean's brought in 17 running backs since he's been here. I don't fucking know any of them.
And my last thing before the question game is calling him Kirk Thuggins is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened in professional football.
I didn't like that very much.
It's pretty bad. Can you guys start calling me Swag Murphy?
Swag Murphy. 100%.
I think that's less embarrassing. All right, number one, Patreon Thomas Mulcahy said it's awful hard to stop teams when 3 all-pros are injured. When is Trey White coming back?
Look at
I thought he was talking about us.
Yeah. Right. He's talking about we missed Shaun last week.
Yeah, it was my elbow, my ulnar nerve.
Our little Louis Cam Lewis did good. Cam Louis did good, but he's no Shaun.
It's true. Jersey on the line today.
I think that nickname is one I'm going to use. I'm going to call him Cam Louie.
I think that's pretty good. Jersey on the line. Isaiah Hodgins picked up by the Giants this week. A Twitter favorite is gone from the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
So get yourself a nice Isaiah Hodgins jersey. 3 questions. Question number 1, we'll start with Greg. Greg, which of the following is not at the Buffalo airport? Is it A, BurgerFi, B, Charlie the Butcher, C, Bocce, or D, Anchor Bar? One of those.
Bocce, the restaurant or the game?
The restaurant.
I know there's an Anchor Bar there.
One of those is not at the airport. Which one?
There's Charlie the Butcher. BurgerFi was the second. The first one, I think the first one was there. What was it? What did you say it was?
BurgerFi, Charlie the Butcher, Bocce, Anchor Bar.
No Bocce.
No Bocce. Kyle.
Now I've been to the airport.
Woo! Where were
Yeah,
were you going? Or is this when you were in the Navy?
I thought the Navy took boats.
No,
What you mean you've been to the seaport?
I just go around to hang out, man.
Seaport, come on. We should stop the pod and stand up and applaud that fucking joke.
I'm gonna go BurgerFi. I've never even heard of BurgerFi.
Sounds something stupid that would be in an airport. I bet you buy burgers with like your phone.
No, I
or
think there's like
shit.
well, that's not stupid. That's how things work now, Greg.
Yeah.
This guy's never heard of Apple Pay.
Not in my world. We're talking about burgers, not apples, idiot. But once you get another Masters.
You're both wrong. There's no Charlie the Butcher at
What?
the airport.
What'd you find this out?
That fucking guy's at a NOCO near my work. Like, he's everywhere. How is he not in the airport?
Question.
If 2 girls
The hell's
open up a
a
lemonade
burger
stand on the
fry?
street, there's a Charlie the Butcher attaches itself to it. He's there carving. Want some beef with that lemonade?
Kyle, to you. Question 2. What number is larger? Case Keenum career passing yards, Mitch Trubisky career passing yards, or Mark Sanchez career passing yards?
Case Keenum, Mitch Trubisky, Mark Sanchez.
Who has more career passing yards?
Sanchez, baby.
Yeah, I'm drafting Kyle to the final turn because I think it's Sanchez.
Well done. Sanchez is correct. Sanchez with 357, excuse me. Then Case Keenum with 14,884, and then Mitch Trubisky with 11,449.
Sanchez had a lot. I remember he had that stint with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
He added on to the total.
He only plays for teams with green.
Question number 3. There's a tiebreaker if we need it. Start with you, Greg. Who does Josh Allen not follow on Instagram?
Fuck, I never look at this.
Is it A, Henry Jokiharu? Is it B, Tage Thompson? Is it C, Jacob Bryson? Or is it D, JJ Paterka?
I'll say Yoki Haru. I'll give you my reasoning, but I don't want to lead Kyle.
Okay.
I swear to God, not even to go into overtime. I was going to say Yoki Haru too.
Well, it's because Josh Allen probably went to the game and brought up like the roster and just started following all of them. And Yoki Haru's been hurt, so he might not have been on there. That's my reasoning.
I also think maybe he doesn't know how to spell that.
He tried to spell Yoki and he started with a Y.
Mm-hmm.
That's J.
Well, you're both wrong. He doesn't follow JJ Paterka, probably because he's a newer member of the franchise. We got to go to a tiebreaker. How many followers does Case Keenum have on Instagram?
Is it more than Kyle?
We'll start with you, Greg.
How many
Closest gets
Kyle's.
782. Case Keenum, he's not friggin' Tom Brady. 782.
782 people, not 1,000?
782 people. He's Case Keenum. Who the fuck is following Case Keenum on Instagram?
I don't know, man. People we went to college with, high school.
Yeah, what is that? Like 20 people that would still want to know what Case Keenum's up to? That 20 people that want to see what Case Keenum had for lunch? Fuck that. It's Case Keenum. He walked around in a Bills spoof video working at the Bill store. No one even knew who the fuck he was. It's Case Keenum.
That was a Bills snuff video.
Yes, I don't think that's right.
But
it was a video the Bills
I watched
did.
something different, I think.
Ooh, then maybe he has more followers than I thought if he's doing videos like that.
I mean, I'm gonna go like 380,000.
Well,
was I closer? The way to be a gentleman, because you could have just said 800 if it was more. I still think I'm closer, but let's see. I probably won. I think I just won, didn't I? Because you said 300,000.
Somehow won.
Oh my god!
What? He has
300,000.
I don't know, man. He's in the NFL.
You could have just said 800 and you would have won.
I know. I didn't want to do that to Greg. Seems like a popular guy.
This was a classic Bills Vikings trivia game right here. Kyle had a 99.1% chance of winning trivia, and he threw it away. He gets it. Now he has 783. Has 97,400 followers, and so somehow Greg is closer, and Greg wins in a shocking upset.
That was like the fucking Vikings win. Like the
That's what I
Bills
just fucking
stopped
said.
them on the goal line.
I just fucking said that, Kyle.
He said that exact. That's so great.
That's what I said. Let's not do the pod.
Shaun, you should please edit you saying that out and just give Greg the joke.
Give me the joke. Come on. I need a win.
Right, let's quickly preview. We're home for the Browns, and yes, I already Googled most rushing yards for a team in a game. And that is 423 by the Giants.
Can I guess the year?
Yeah.
The Giants in 1962.
Close, 1950 against the Baltimore
It had to be
Colts.
one of them old wishbone offense pieces of shit.
So, Kyle, the Browns are going to come in. They're going to look to run all over the place. Rousseau's probably still out. Who knows? Maybe Edmonds is out. He was a big factor when he left in the second half. Your boy, who I think you're becoming. I think you're secretly becoming a fan of. How do the Bills stop that running team? How do they get back on the winning track?
I think maybe you can go out and convince Wyatt Teller to retire or come back to the Bills. Maybe that's a good one, right? I don't know. Tell the whole team that their logo is not even fucking brown. It's orange. That'll make them mad. I forgot the Bills were playing the Browns until right now.
Oh, we could tell.
So what are you guys? The Oranges? We can't play football. He just devastated us. Let's only run for 380
You're telling me that if Nick Chubb was on the Bills, the running game wouldn't be a little better?
I don't care. I don't want the running game to be better.
I want it to be more. It's like they don't know when to run. It's like the timing is bad. It's like, hey, we just ran on 1st and 10 and got no gain. Let's do it.
They know when to run. They know when to run. It's very little.
And at the wrong times.
No, that's always the wrong time to run.
Anyways, the Browns.
Any team playing the Bills would salivate if they ran the ball 30 times. They'd be, oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah, no one's asking for
running
30 times.
Yeah, no one's saying there. Don't get all radio on me, okay?
Yeah.
Interrupting the callers, getting an attitude. If you want to get an attitude at the callers, get out of radio. Anyways.
I had a rant ready to go about post-game show, and I didn't do it, but it kind of went wrong, so.
I think I think it's going to be rough, and we don't know if Tremaine Edmonds is going to be there. He had a hurt groin.
I also said that.
I did hear that, Shaun. He did say that. Yes.
Well, in that case, Greg had a funny joke about the trivia game being just like the Vikings.
Game. What's like the Vikings?
And if Shaun was better comic, he would have made the same joke. Anyways, the Bills are going to lose 49-10. Nick Chubb's going to levitate into the end zone. They're going to hand off the ball, and he's going to levitate. And then he's going to go to the sky cam, flip it off, and go, fuck you, Greg. And then he's going to levitate into the end zone.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see that, actually. I don't care if the Bills lose. I can't wait to see
Greg's
that.
gonna be like, how much does that camera weigh?
Yeah. Lift it up with your arms. See, it's 1,000 pounds, right?
I'm just interested to see how he levitates. Is it special shoes? Do they give him a bunch of
No, man.
balloons in the huddle
It's-
and he just grabs the
it's-
ball and goes
I
off?
told you, man, it's the universe, man. It's the timelines crossing.
Magnets.
Yeah.
Magnets. That's how.
Well, Greg, do you think they win?
Yeah, they're going to win by 40 points.
Yeah, I think they win too.
It's a get right game.
So was the fucking Jets game.
Nope.
Sorry.
That was just a slumpy slump.
Yeah, it's a long slump. Sorry.
You
30
wanna see
points.
You want to see a
They
long
scored
slump?
30 points.
Wait till we're done recording. I'll show you a long slump. That's what I call it. Right, isn't that right, Swag Murphy?
I honestly don't know whether you're talking about your dick or a shit you're gonna take. I don't know.
Then don't open your inbox.
I don't think calling your dick a slump is a brag.
I know.
My dick's like a slump.
You ready to see this? You ready to see this slump, honey?
Okay, we gotta start wrapping this up. I will say
Hi, it's just getting good.
We just started talking about Greg's slumpy dick.
Yeah, that's right. We tend to end with something terrible.
I will say that 4 of our Patreons have still not gotten back to me about what size shirt they want.
Come
Send
on.
them to me. I'll wear
So
it.
Francis, Jonathan, Andy, and Neil message me or the Patreon or something.
That combination of names sounds like they have a Bills podcast.
They're too busy doing their podcast. They can't. Where's our shirt? Where's our shirt for their podcast?
And I'd also like to add, we had a new person signed up this week, Steven, and he wrote us a nice little message that I'm going to read. He said, I don't know you guys or anything, but I just wanted to say I enjoy the pod. Now that the Bills are trending back to in the hunt territory, I thought it was the perfect time to join the Patreon. I want to encourage you to carry on, especially Greg. Each episode, he tells us how much he hates doing the pod, but his brutal and cynical honesty is the breath of fresh air we need. It is very comforting. Keep up the good work, and remember, there's always next year. What a nice message from Steven.
Jeez, did he write that in a Hallmark? That was like long and nice. And wow, it was like my slump. It was long and nice.
I have a quick story.
Welcome to the club, Steven.
I met an In the Hunter in the wild. I was in Target checking out. Hopefully he's listening. I was in Target checking out, and this guy comes up to me.
And you were just there. Oh yeah, I'll take a pack of gum. And people are like, oh my god, is that?
What do you think you order at Target? You go get my stuff.
We know how you operate.
Whoever stacked this gum should be fired. You got spearmint over here. You got peppermint here. They don't even have rainbow. And then where's the hubba bubba? They just start over, and they should be fired and then shot.
I'm in Target checking out, and this guy comes up to me and he goes, no smile, no expression, no nothing. He just goes, "Are you Kyle?" And I go, he goes, "Is your name Kyle?" And I went, "Yeah." And he goes, "Is it Kyle Turner?" And I literally go, "Oh no, did I do something wrong?" Like to him, and he just goes, "No, I listen to your podcast." And I go, "Oh, thank God." And anyways, his name was Tyler. So thanks, Tyler, for literally scaring the shit out of me. I thought for sure this guy was going to be like,
then he made
I
your
saw
whole
what you
day.
tweeted, and then fucking shoot me in the face or something. So thanks for listening, Tyler. And next time you approach someone in the wild there, have a smile on your face or something, man. You scared me.
He said he listens. It doesn't mean he likes the show.
That is true.
He might hate listen.
He also may have said listened. I listened once.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you guys were talking about.
Oh, but he said he met you,
slumps.
Greg, and Shaun. He said he hasn't met you, and he's not.
Let's
So
close
now
that
it's
loop.
been 2/3 of the pod. So I'd like to promote Shaun Murphy's show at Helium Comedy Club on November 23rd. Come to it, Tyler. You can meet Shaun, and
I'm emceeing, so I'm gonna do like little jokes. I'm gonna get the crowd warmed up.
yeah, I'm not going to be there, but I'm going to get drunk. No, I'm going to be there. I'm not going to be on stage.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's not. You can't say that for sure yet. we might find a way to get you up there.
Sure.
Ooh,
So
another Kyle
I sometimes
Wright.
I'll call people up. I do this thing that's called arms, where I put my arms behind my back, and Kyle's gonna be like, you just gotta like gesture. Oh, I think I'll have some tea, and Kyle will
Yeah.
like mind like it's a
And then,
great.
and
bit.
then
They
no
love it.
matter what, I just do the jerk off motion.
Could we do arms for 15 minutes, and the entire time I'm doing it, you're just doing the slow jerk while I'm doing my normal set.
and then you hear Kyle go, "It is a log slump." So yeah, come to that show night before Thanksgiving. I'm headlining. Greg's on it, and a frequent guest Rick Matthews is on it. Kyle
What a
will be
fucking
there
night!
hanging
honestly.
out. It's gonna be super fun. It's possible, I don't know yet. It's possible we might have free tickets for the Patreon members, but if you're not a Patreon member, definitely go get your ticket. And also sign up for the Patreon. $6 and up, $3 and up tier gets a free t-shirt. Got like probably 50 bonus episodes so far. That's fun. Follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, email us at inthehuntcast@gmail.com. Do you guys have any you guys have any plugs you want to end with?
I don't want to waste their time. Like there was like 15 minutes of stuff.
I didn't know we had that much shit.
I mean, it was maybe 15 seconds, but
The best song ever is coming up. Like I don't like when the Bills lose, but I love the Bills make me want to cry song. So I'm excited about that.
it is a good one. Well, thanks everyone. Sweeto, the Bills are better than we think. Greg's positive. I'm a little negative. Kyle's still Kyle.
I'm a little bit country.
Oh no, are we gonna start a new song?
I'm a little bit negative. And I'm a little bit positive.
And I'm a little bit Kyle.
I'm a little bit Kyle. Everyone should be fired.
That is how I sing.
Karaoke night coming up. Let's do karaoke after the Helium show. Kyle doing any song whatsoever. All right,
Good app,
that's it.
everyone. We'll see you next week. Sweeto.
The bills make me wanna cry. Kick my heels up and cry. Throw my hands up and die. Come on, the bills are good.